Good morning, and welcome to a brand new week in Barbados. I feel as though I have not talked to you all for a long time, so I guess today may talk a little more than normal. So I guess about 45% is what I'm estimating right now. Saw some of you asking where we are, but I know many of you do know where we are. We've been here a couple of times before. We've done our family out here as well. We've had an amazing time out here today. Conditions are not the most perfect to walk where I am. Hence our co-star is on the beach at the moment because it's a little bit deep in certain spots. The sandbar has shifted a lot, but we are in St. Lawrence Lagoon. This is just by Sandy Beach itself, or Worthing Beach. We're going to give you a little more on that as we are starting to walk, but what a beautiful sunrise. Perfect place to actually say our serenity prayers. We have the St. Lawrence Church right there in our camera, just slightly left of center. So please join us on this prayer. Remember, it's a prayer for peace and direction and guidance and calmness. This is something that I sort of like live by, and it's helped me tremendously in my life to cope with things that I thought I had control over, which I absolutely do not. It also relieves me of the responsibility of handling other people's actions or trying to control other people, which I always did in my earlier life. However, I'm a little bit smarter and a little bit older, 52 now rather than 51. But we're going to start off this morning with our serenity prayer. Those who'd like to join us, please do. All others will be back to you in a few moments' time. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Your will, not ours, be done. Amen. I really don't want to miss our sunrise. We can talk a little bit in this general area, and let's start scope a little more. I will show you some more of that because we're in a good position to take that all in. However, just to tell you where we are, if you're familiar with what you see St. Ives and St. Lawrence West, St. Lawrence East and Rostrevor, that's all in the center of the camera in that general area. Good morning, driver. You know, whenever I come to this location, this is like your home. You sit down and watch this area where I am standing right now every morning when you're here in Barbados. So this hopefully will bring back memories, will hopefully bring you to this 166 square miles of peace and serenity and absolutely blessed soil called Barbados. Hopefully you're feeling the warmth and the love and the kindness that we're extending not only to you, but to each and every one on board here. Years ago, if you were here, you would remember this reef used to come up above the water at low tide, almost every low tide. Very rarely did it not show some of its actual resection, and that's because all of the coral that used to grow on this, and you see fans and you see ferns, etc., used to come above, actually increase what would look like the level of the actual reef itself. However, over the years, a lot of sand that was on this massive beach, as you all would know, this beach has come and gone, and it's sort of like coming back a little bit now. But there's lots of sand in this lagoon that was not here before. Small fishing boats used to actually come directly through this channel here where the sandbar is, from the eastern section where you see them moored down. Some of them used to go out off of Rostrevor, which is a channel just in front of Rostrevor Hotel, between the two reefs, and they will go out through there. But many of these smaller ones used to actually go, especially going westward, used to come over the sandbar here and then directly down through the lagoon and exit to the western side of this lagoon. There was also an exit to the center of this lagoon as well. Like smaller rowboats used to go through as well. However, because of the build-up of sand, boats can no longer come through here. I haven't seen a boat come through this section here for many years now. I don't know if it's happened when it was not here, but I have certainly not seen it happen for many years. Unfortunately, the sand that's settling, along with other things that went on before we had the South Coast sewage plant, all of the sewage you see dumped, or all of the washing liquids, etc., mainly washing liquids and the kitchen washing liquids and stuff, were dumped into the sea by the hotels in this area. Then our sewage was pumped into trucks and moved from here. So a lot of the South Coast was impacted tremendously, originally by all the chemicals that were dumped in, you see, and then by the sand that's moved around continuously because of the formation of new reefs, by man effects that are being built along this line. When I was young, there was no Dover Beach, what you all call Dover Beach, in front of Southern Palms. At high tide, you really couldn't walk down there without getting wet in front of Southern Palms wall, especially if it had a wave. There was no Sandals Beach, which was 𝗃𝗟𝗓𝗲, which was just a little slither of beach. There was no Sea Breeze Beach. There was no Enterprise Beach. There was no Miami Beach. And then again, we didn't outside the boardwalk. So a lot of the circulation of sand has been impacted tremendously, not only on this coast, but also in West Coast. You will also know, fishermen have told me, and looking at it more and more every day, I seem to realize what they're saying, that the Deepwater Harbour used to originally be Pelican Island, which was off of Barbados. However, as the land was claimed, that has become a natural groin. So if you all see Brandon's Beach, you also will see Carlisle Bay. They've all built sand tremendously. A lot of that sand used to circulate to the south and to the west. It no longer does so, as well as the other beaches that are being formed. So sand is moving in strange directions. Right now, this bay is full, or lagoon is full of sand. The reef is almost covered with sand. This reef is almost dead now. If you come out here and snorkel, you will see very few fish on this reef. At one time, I mean, I could walk across here and pick my way across here barefoot. At one time, you wouldn't dream of doing that. It was full of sea urchins, full of all types of enemies to your foot, sea eggs, eels, etc. Now, this reef, as I said before, is almost dead. But what I want to stay here and talk to you about was all of here, so that we could see this beautiful sunrise this morning. Welcome to beautiful Barbados. It is a privilege to be able to bring Barbados to each and everyone every morning, especially myself as well. It is a blessing and a healing journey for me. You know, I do this here. The main cause is to spread all of the blessings that God has bestowed on me and continues to bestow on me every day. That's the peace and the love and the kindness and the care, genuine love for a human being. I'm not telling you that I would go and sit down with everyone in this world, because some people are negative. Some people do not encourage positivity around them, and therefore I will say good morning to them and share my love with them, but then I will move on. We're not asked to stay in negative situations. That would be your choice. That depends on if you think that you can make a difference in that situation or not. If you cannot make a difference, walk away from it. Just go along, keep your serenity, keep your peace, and go find someone else who is eagerly awaiting your companionship and your friendship and your hand to walk them through their dark times. So there are millions of people out there looking for you to help them. So today a smile can go a long way. Your smile can save a life. Your good morning can bring someone from a cliff. Instead of jumping, realize that they have some possibilities and something that's you know, looking positive, so they will come back and try their hand again. So hopefully you will carry all that peace and blessings and love and kindness that you have, any positive that you may have, and share it with the world. The more EMC members we get, that is the most important thing, is to get the numbers so that we can share what we're doing with everyone. That's why we're working on a succession program, so that we'll have new people to come on the whole gimbals. We'll have a new person to head this in case something happens to me, because this movement is something that God wants to continue forever. I know this for sure, and there's nothing negative about this, all positive. Beautiful, beautiful sunrise in Barbados. No matter where you are in the world, you are right now in Barbados. So what I'm going to do is just do it silently as we walk back the shore just for a little bit. I'll talk to you more when we get closer in, but let you see what it feels like and understand what it is here, and also hear what it's like this morning. Here we go. Silence is golden, 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 and no, I will not shut my mouth because it's deafening as well. So I'm going to start talking to you all so you all can hear me. I'm sure the co-star heard me just now from the beach. She's way on the inside. Look at this glow. Heavenly, man. She's on breads. Let me stop here. 20 seconds. I know we had not really moved, but you deserve 20 seconds of this silhouette here, this beautiful sunrise. Here we go. Alright, now I took a timer on that, but I know my timekeeper's probably going to come on and tell me, man, that was not 20 seconds, or that was more than 20 seconds. You don't mind. You had what I know is 20 seconds, and I am always right. I have my watch on. I was looking at it, and my watch was correct. Everyone knows my watch is the only reliable watch. Greenwich Mean Time call me every morning, so the Big Ben will chime on time. They want to make sure that they're accurate, and they will usually give me a call on the morning Depends on what time of year, either 4 hours or 5 hours before 6 o'clock. So they will have the accurate reading. Beautiful, beautiful beach. I call this the best beach in the world. I have not had the passion that I felt for this beach for a little while, and it's not because that I don't love this beach. It just is that I've been some amazing beaches, both, actually on all three coastlines. I've been blown away by the beauty and the serenity on the south, east and west as well. So I tend to spend a lot more time on different beaches now than I used to before. I used to live here every day, whether it was a vlog or not. I would end up on this beach. However, over the last 2 months, I've been touring all over the island. Now, just as that brings me to this point, on, I can't remember what day it is, because the day's merged. I think it was Saturday. Our deceiving, tricky, and conniving co-star decided that she was going to put up a post about, I'm finally admitting that the West is the best. Now, anyone that fell for that does not know Nicholas Dean, does not know the Bajan Warrior, and is also drinking on a morning, because there's absolutely no way that I would ever say that when I'm a Southie. I am 100% South Coast person. However, I do have a lot of respect and appreciation for the West, which I've only recently learned, because years gone by, all I would do in the West Coast was go there to surf, maybe walk a few beaches or something, but nothing like what I do now. So I've taken an admiration for the West for sure, but the South will always be the #1 South. It will always be the #1 South Coast, #1 in Barbados, #1 in the world. This beach here, I will continue to call the best beach in the world. I've met so many friends and people that become like my brothers and sisters. I mean that from my heart. I have people here that I have learned or known from the time I was in my teens when I started to frequent this beach until this day now. Some cannot get back here because of health reasons, but they still watch these vlogs. So I'm able to bring the beauty that they enjoyed and the peace that they're familiar with and the serenity that they love to encircle themselves with to them this morning. So I would definitely like to hail up, as I'm here, the St.Terry family. That's from Granby, up there in Quebec. Now, they are my true family. Unfortunately, Benoit and his wife Louise can no longer come to Barbados because of health issues. However, Norm, I hope you and the family will come back to Barbados soon again. I am urging you to come back because I desperately need to see you all. I've not seen you all since COVID has come in. It's time for you to return home. Without you here on the beach, I miss the feel of the beach. Also to all my crazy Canadian friends that stay in Waters Meet, good morning Roseanne and everyone else. We don't like to call any names, you know, because Jeff and them like to remain anonymous, so we will not call their names this morning. But hopefully they're on as well, because I know they love here for sure. Beautiful, beautiful coastline. Lovely St. Lawrence Lagoon. Have a friend called, that likes to call this Deborah's Bay. Good morning, Deborah, if you're on board. You're having a look at your favorite place. Beautiful, sorry, it's Sandra's Bay. I also have a Deborah that comes here as well, but I don't want to confuse her because she doesn't actually call it Deborah's Bay, but it's Sandra's Bay. It is a void in memory. I've had a hard morning. As you can appreciate, it's not easy getting woken up from England that early in the morning to find out if a clock is set right. So I've had a little bit of a tedious morning, but we're going to correct it as we go through. So good morning to Deborah. Good morning to Sandra. Good morning to Jane, Jackie and Jacqueline and whoever else is on board this morning. Good morning to each and every one of you all. We should have a great signal to watch us this morning because of the cell towers here. Usually just a fantastic signal in this area. Hopefully it'll be strong that we can get this up onto YouTube later so our YouTube family can appreciate and enjoy the beauty that we're seeing this morning. This is absolutely gorgeous. To our sulking dictator who does not want to socialize with me anymore, that keeps on refusing all of my invitations, I hope you're on this morning. And I will not call your name because I know you'll be embarrassed if I said that it was 𝗲𝗷𝗄𝗏. So I will not be calling your name this morning. I will keep that secret between us. But I would like you to stop ignoring or declining our invitations because we will have to deal with you in a different manner if you continue to do so. We will come by your house. We will take away your boys and your bright eyes cat. And we will take them into kidnap them until you are able to come with us. So I don't think you want to have that unpleasantry. So please remember, I'm a dog and cat charmer. I can take them and they'll be happy to come with me. I know exactly what they like to eat because you have told me. So there we go. To Nicole, the biggest liar of EMC, that is notorious for being the biggest liar in EMC. You do remember the peace and serenity of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look this way again. And I'm going to give you all a little bit of this vision. And also a little bit of peace and serenity that goes with it. I know we're looking this way a lot today, but don't mind. I am sure a lot of you are enjoying this, so 20 seconds, enjoy. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful St. Lawrence Lagoon. Talking about Deborah. Deborah has promised to walk with us every time she comes here. She has not done so yet. She told me over the weekend, I will be walking with you when I come. Now that sounds sort of like a broken record, like a deja vu event. So Deborah, if you're on this morning, I would like you to publicly say you will be coming to walk with us if you're on this morning. If you're not on this morning, I will publicly say Deborah says she's walking with us when she returns to Barbados. So there you go. All right, what was Bike Shot House has recently been purchased. Well, not recently, like around the beginning of COVID time, I think probably around maybe 2018 or so. And they've put some beautiful condos in the lower section. The original structure, that's where originally staff quarters were. The original structure of where the kitchen and the actual accommodations are still here. They have been beautified to enhance the area because they're not ready to develop that section yet, so they've just beautified it. As you can see, there's a lovely beach that's building there. They had a lot of rocks here. They've moved them around a little bit. They've trapped some sand. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. Good morning to the Robinson family. Robinson family is who I remember from here. I spent almost every weekend with them. Deborah and Adam and the parents all here, and their accommodation, which is in the center of the camera, that's where they used to live. 𝗲𝗷𝗄𝗃 used to run the actual bike shop house itself. And I remember this extremely well. I remember running through a caboose, that's right, a train caboose. It used to span across the actual Sleuth area. We used to run through that and play on top of the roofs when we were young. That would obviously be after 1971. If the encyclopedia tells you that was probably back in the 60s, they are lying. I remember the exact time. It was after 71. I was born at that time. I do remember the actual running around. So I must be about 4. So I guess around 1975 or so, somewhere in that vicinity. But yeah, that's how it was here. Beautiful area. I remember I used to have a houseboat also located out here, and probably about 30 boats that used to anchor out here. That is something that has also diminished a little bit. Not as many boats anchor in this area anymore either. We're approaching our co-star. This morning she's dressed in a Xander jersey that was purchased to me by Kim. Kim purchased it for me so that I would celebrate her birthday with her. She gave me a present on her birthday, and that's because I am so amazing that everyone thinks they need to give on their birthday to me rather than receive. That is why I am so cheap and I don't have to pay any money. I've learned that from our billionaire. He's a cheap. I'll say it one more time. Cheap person. And we're not mimicking birds. He is just so cheap. That man would not even buy a glass of water. That's how cheap that man is. Even when he's thirsty, he will go and put his mouth on a muddy puddle and say, coconut water, coconut water. It comes from a shell, brother, not from a puddle. I know the taste is the same, but coconut water comes from a shell. Lovely. Last time we were here, you remember they had a lot of rocks in front of this section, right where the coastal is. These rocks used to join with a big rock protection they had here. However, they have shifted quite a few of the rocks, and the sand is built up inside. I would imagine this will all change around this time of the year now, when we get our south swells and our surges and stuff, pushing the sand up. But when we get a really big surf, it will probably pull it back down as well. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So now we have finally got back to our co-star. We have not bad taught her for the morning. Good morning, how are you feeling? But I didn't bad taught you this morning. It was all beautiful. How are you this morning?
I'm good.
You're feeling better? You had some fun on, you didn't want to come and get wet with me on the reef this morning?
I didn't want to walk through all that seaweed.
All the seaweed?
Yeah, it's nasty.
Well, I didn't even see it. That tells you have to look beyond the beauty. That's how it is. Yeah. She has a lot of loose talk for me about seaweed this morning, but as you can see, there's really no seaweed here at all. Yes, those the trawler captains that she employs to dump it off at the south of the island. Oh no, I'm not focusing the camera right there. Right now I'm walking this direction.
That's how you know on the south coast.
There we go. Yes, you want to say something? You want to know you're on the south coast?
That's how you know.
That's right. And if you get sand in your teeth, where are you?
South coast.
And if you get sand in your bikini, where are you?
South coast.
There you go, men and ladies on board here. You will see the south coast has all the fun. If you go to any other coast, you will not get sand in your mouth. You will not get sand in your bikini. You will not be able to swim amongst our gals and weed. So that will just tell you which is the best coast. South coast. Even our West Coast person has just said, our West Coast representative has just said about how great the South Coast is, because she likes to swim with sand in her teeth and in her ears and her bathing suit.
I know I do.
Oh. I thought I got rid of her, but she seems to be back. We've done a little clean up here to get out some water. This is 𝗃𝗹𝗃𝗀. Just to give you a little information on this, what it's all about. Again, when I was young, I used to come down here and this water here was full. This 𝗃𝗹𝗃𝗀 be open at strategic times, especially at low tide, to let water out of actual 𝗃𝗵𝗿𝗀 swamp when you had excessive rains and stuff, when it was a build-up. However, it has been used over the last few years as for the sewage process of trying to get rid of a problem it had with sewage here, and it hopefully will be handed back over to the people control Graham Hall Swamp and bring it back into natural aviary again, hopefully. However, this is sluice gate. When we have extremely heavy rains, they have to open up the sluice gate that's behind us to let the water come out of here. If not, it builds up and then it floods all the areas down by Big B Massey. We always refer to it as Big B, and that will be forever referred to as Big B. But this is the sluice gate area. If you've ever heard of it, you would remember if you were here many years ago. Sometimes you come onto a beautiful blue sea, and within an hour it would turn brown because of the opening sluice gate, and you'll see the water coming down. That still happens on occasions, but as you can see, sand has built up a lot here. Water has been coming in and bringing the sand in rather than going out, and that's because of the kind of tides and surges that we've been having. This place used to always have tilapia and mollies and guppies and everything. We used to fish in here. Everybody will remember that. And as I said about the caboose, it used to run right over here, center way up, halfway up here. The train caboose from the original trains of Barbados used to go over here, and we used to run through that all the time. I remember that very well. Good morning to you again, Adam. One of my buddies. I haven't seen you for many, many years. Well, it's time to make a change on that for sure. Return home, come and spend some time with us here in Barbados. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beach. Now, as I said, this to me, I will always call, or I will for now anyhow, I think for always though, call it the best beach in the world. That's because I met my best friends here. You know, I didn't actually meet the co-star here, but she came here. Actually, yes, I did. I met her at Crystal Waters. Very first time was at Crystal Waters Beach Bar. That was back in June last year. Beautiful, beautiful time, beautiful memories. We've had a lot of our office days at Crystal Waters. However, we have not had any recently. That does not say we're not coming back. It just means that we are moving around the island and spreading our love and our peace and our joy, the EMC way. All of these things you're seeing on the beach that are yellow, these are all counterweights for the umbrellas. They will put beach umbrellas next season to take them down. This is my personal opinion. It is not anyone else's, but my personal opinion. These need to be taken up and change the color. You need to put them either in a transparent or in something that will blend in better to the beach. This looks absolutely disgusting. It may not be seen when you have beach umbrellas and beach chairs out, but when you're seeing it like this looks wrong. And anyone that takes offense to that, you could tell me to my face, you could tell me behind my back, you could write it on screen. I really don't care. That's my opinion, and I share my opinion here. As I was telling my sister yesterday, that sometimes I see things that politically or individually might not be comfortable for certain people when they comment on them. God has asked me to walk my journey. If I see good or I see bad around me, my journey is what I am impressed by or not impressed by, and I need to make it clear. Hopefully someone will see these and get these moved. I mean, this looks ridiculous. Sorry to say, but I have to stress that again. Do you remember right where that silver vehicle is parked? They had a lot of cigarette bush. I almost said trees. I'm having a hard morning. I did say that in the beginning, so please give me a lapse on that one. But they had a lot of cigarette trees there and cigarette bush that have been destroyed. We moved them. I had asked them to move them, and they did that for sure. You remember they had clumps and clumps of cigarette bush. I'll try and get it right one of these days. However, that has gone. I wouldn't like to tell you why they had to move it, but trust me, they need to move that in the worst of ways. And it's not because of the bush, it's because of what people did with the bush. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beach. Now, years ago, this was the venue of the first ever crop over wet fete in Barbados. There were like 6,000 or 8,000 people in chain link fence that was spanning from this area here way out. Remember, at that time, this beach was beyond these groins, way beyond the groins. We used to actually drive, and all of my fellow surfers and friends who have been to Sandy Beach will remember those days when we used to drive out to carry our coolers out because it was so far to walk. We also had the Highland Games here. They had a lot of events here as well. But the chain link was all along this beach section here, and that's where the first wet fete was. Prior to that, in the 90s, there was no beach here at all. The water used to come up right there to where you see the fencing or the front of the gallery there on that Airbnb property, which is called Waters Meet. That's where the water used to come up to. However, that also changed. And then unfortunately in the early 2000s, when we had a couple of hurricanes that came nearby, 𝗃𝗍𝗯𝗀, etc., the sand started shifting, it changed again. When I'm talking about the days of no beach, you couldn't walk wrong in front of what is now known as the Royal Bliss. You couldn't walk wrong in front there without getting soaking wet. You actually had to walk in water no matter what the tide was. If it was rough or had any swell coming, you would get soaked. There was no beach here, so it goes and it comes. So these groins were dropped just after the hurricanes because this beach was way smaller. I mean, much, much smaller. We used to drive around the outside here, but the actual beach just after the hurricanes went way back up, close to those coconut trees. Very little bit of beach that you could come through. And then that's where we used to have our operation from. So that is how far up the sand used to be in those days. So there was no sand out here at that time. And then they dropped these groins to try and save it, which you have seen a building of sand recently. It goes and comes, as we said. It doesn't just stay here, it goes and comes. So we like to bring your attention to everything in this beach, why it is known as the best beach in the world to me. And that's because of all of the amenities and facilities here. You have above, first of all, the kiosks, where you will have bars and restaurants. You also have a fish restaurant, smaller fish on beach restaurant up there as well located. You then have this beautiful place called the 𝗃𝗷𝗷𝗲 𝗃𝗏𝗏. We were here for our office party a few weeks back. You will remember that. This is a great establishment. This offers like rock kind of style music, a little more of the younger style music, I would have to say. Unless you get Redman playing here, which is an amazing night. You'll also find a lot of live events here as well. Anytime there's a big international live event, they will have their big monitor up, and this place will be ram-packed solid. A really popular venue for many people visiting this island. This is called the 𝗃𝗷𝗷𝗲 𝗃𝗏𝗏. You'll see just below what was 𝗃𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏 years ago. It's now called the Royal Bliss. They went through major renovations. You may look at it and say, wait, it looks exactly as it did before. That's because they saved the footprint. Thank you to that amazing couple that bought this property and did not carry it 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 9 and 10 stories high. They've maintained it as it was. So the actual atmosphere of this area has not changed. However, the rooms are amazing. All of the finishes in these rooms are now high-end. We have not done our walkthrough yet. Hopefully we'll be able to do that soon. They redid the entire decking area as well. They changed this wall, put it a little bit lower, so when you're sitting on their deck now, you can clearly see over. Before, you were a little bit challenged, especially if you were in a sun deck chair. They have raised the inside section, have done a much better drainage area on the inside section. So anyone that was here years ago, you will see big improvements. Big improvements, yet same cosmetically, same outer, just cleaned up and looking much better. Now, it just looks cleaned up, but a lot of work went in here. If you've been here in the years gone by, you will know how much work went into this, how much blood, sweat, and tears. So remember, these people that bought this were workers within their own team. They were here every morning, sweeping, cleaning up sand, doing everything that would be expected of someone that's caring. Normally, it'd be expected of someone that actually is being paid to do it. However, these folks did it themselves, along with the help of all their great team that they had. Beautiful lighting, beautiful accommodation right here. Now, I'm going to take a little time out to show you one of the most beautiful sceneries in Barbados. I'm going to give you 20 seconds. I'm actually going to put you up on their banister. I'm going to put the gimbal up and I'm going to lock you in on this view. I'll let you enjoy this beautiful, beautiful island with us now. Thousands of photographs are being taken from this very location. This is one of the most beautiful views you can imagine. Can you imagine waking up on a morning and seeing this scenery from your banister, your balcony, whatever? Have a look at this. What you gotta call it, breathtaking, absolutely stunning. You would also seen as well over the years they had an additional row of coconut trees the same distance out from these two rows. They fell quite a few years ago, like back in the very early 2000s, just after 2004. They had an entire line of trees here. Just to paint a picture for you, for those that are remembering the times where you're seeing that person that's furthest out, and you see there was a coconut tree on sand there with a beach, say about maybe another 15 yards beyond that tree. Where the people are is where they used to have a beach volleyball court, and then on the inside they had a sort of like a ground tennis table. That doesn't make sense, ground tennis table, but you would know what I mean, hopefully. That is how far out the sand was at one time. Yet, just prior to that, in the early 1990s, the sand used to come right up and hit, and 80s, especially 80s, the water used to come right up and hit this wall. They actually have drops of pylons. Good morning to you, chef. Been walking through the show, everyone. You want to say good morning to the world from your own self at Crystal Waters?
Oh, you can see this is the dirty part of the job.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So we're going to be back soon. We just want everybody to see that you're still here functioning and that you're in top condition.
Still going. And you know, wishing everybody all the best health and everything. I hope to see you all soon again.
All right, so before you go, and before you go back to sweat, tell me what your functions are throughout the week, because I can't remember them honestly. So
right, throughout the week, we open as normal from 11:30 to about around 7, 8.
Okay.
Friday nights, we have the band Syndicate on,
right,
which is really a lot of good fun. And on Sundays, and usually Sunday Fun Day.
right.
We're thinking about putting on something on Wednesday. We haven't made our mind up yet, but we'll let you know soon.
Well, when you do bring it on, we will surely advertise it for you.
Right.
You all have happy hours still? I know you do on
happy hour
Sundays.
is still on every day excepting Sunday.
Right.
From Monday to Saturday.
Right, everybody here is already happy on a Sunday, so you need a happy hour. That's for sure.
You got it right.
Right, my brother. Thanks very much,
then.
man. And again, thanks for keeping the environment and the atmosphere of Crystal Waters and Sandy Beach as it was.
Thank
you
you
for doing
much.
that, right?
Well, that's
Take
the
care.
plan.
Yeah, man. Say your wife for me, huh?
Okay,
all right, my
shall.
brother. Cool.
Okay, then.
So as you can see, Crystal Waters, they have their work going on right now. As you can appreciate, a lot of people would be here. You're still having a great time with our EMC Master Entertainer, Mr. Impact. He is still our EMC Master Entertainer. That will not change. I would have to say he's one of the best entertainers in the island for sure, and that is why he's been given that title. But lots of seating and stuff out here would have been packed with people yesterday. The season is now beginning to wind down a little bit. As you know, we come into April, starts to go into the off season, so numbers will probably drop a little bit, but I can guarantee you if you come here, you will have a great time. The atmosphere is amazing, and as you can see, it's clean work going on continuously. Barbecue 101 back in effect now. You can also have your barbecue lunches here on a Sunday as well. All right, so a little bit back here one more time. The trees, they had another row in front of here that was approximately where that, not the outside groin, but where you see the rocks that go to the furthest point here, just underneath this 45-degree angle tree. That is where the next set of trees were, just inside of that actually. Used to go right down here as well. However, they went down first, and then we have lost some trees last year in the hurricane season with big surges. We lost 2 trees that were here, a big one, a big mature one that was here, and then one just below it. All this sand had gone. You can see it's still trying to come back now. This is the most difficult time of the year for South Coast to build sand because of the currents and the sea conditions that are ongoing. These trees here, they have stood up through this season. I do not know if you will see all these here come the summer, because this one here, as you can see, that was almost straight up. That has taken a tremendous lean on it, and so is this one. One more time, we would like to draw a little attention to these trees and the saving of this area. To whoever has the power, whoever can make a difference here, please save these trees. This is a beautiful, beautiful section of Barbados that everyone remembers. Anyone who's ever been here has taken pictures in this area here. I can assure you of that. So all the postcards and all the friends all over the world, the encouragement to come to Barbados by all of those around have been generated by people who have captured photos. Remember, it is not only the BTA that advertise Barbados, it's each and every individual person that comes to this island that takes home memories and shares it with their friends of the beautiful locations. Please do not let us lose this one amazing location. Do not let us lose these trees. Try and save this area for us. Whatever you need to do, I don't really mind. I'm not the technical person. All I can tell you is I know things can be done to save this. So please put some energy into it, put some interest into it, and please get some kind of solution for this, because we don't want to lose any more of this ocean, this beachfront area. Again, I will show you another of the iconic photos. I won't step on the chef's property. He just swept up all of the sand. But I will show you another photo that is very, very popular and very famous in Barbados. For all those that are usually at Crystal Waters, breathe in, breathe out, feel your hair, sense everything. Here we go. And now for your 180 view, if you are sitting here drinking one of your tropical beverages at any time of the day. Just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. All right, so onward we shall go. All right, so years ago they had Sandy Beach Hotel here. You remember that was the first hotel that was structured here. It was known as Sandy Beach Hotel, hence the name Sandy Beach is still referred to. In those days we did not have the full stretch of beach that runs up here at the moment that you're seeing. As I had mentioned to you before, how they had no sand at that time. So in those days they had different beaches. Sandy Beach was here, they called above 𝗲𝗟𝗶𝗲 or 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝗀 more commonly referred to. And then below that you had 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗃. There was nothing really joining them. However, as the sand built in these areas in the late 80s, early 90s, into the early 2000s, they then turned it into what we refer to as 𝗲𝗟𝗏𝗶𝗃. However, a lot of us locals still call it Sandy Beach and 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝗃, etc. Conditions here, I would say you will be out of your depth as you get about midway throughout into this lagoon. However, as you approach a little further out, we're still on the rippling effect just beyond these folks. That is where the reef starts again. So at low tide, you go through about, I would say, maybe shoulder deep. In this area, maybe a little bit deeper. So, but as soon as you start to go a little further out, you then hit the sandbar again and back onto the reef. So you can walk around out there and do your photos, off-island photos, if you so desire. This is the channel that's used by boats to exit and enter this lagoon. So remember, if you see a boat come in, don't be in the middle of the channel, try and move out the channel. If you do see a red flag that's flying and below you see a red flag there, it's not really flying, but that's just indicating the current that goes through here. So if you are in this area and you're swimming and you are picked up by this current, do not freak out and panic. You will get brought in further on down on the beach after you get around this actual groin section. You will have to swim a little bit to get to the beach, but the actual current drops considerably as you go about 10 yards down. So don't panic. Remember, don't panic in any situation. Always keep your head on and make sure and swim. If you're in a riptide, with the riptide slightly at an angle, so you actually swim your way out of it, don't try and fight it. You will not be able to beat the elements, I can assure you of that. Alright, here again, many more trees were lost last year and the year before. This one was snapped in the hurricane the year before. And we also lost a lot of trees or in this section due to erosion, especially St.Terry Grove. Before I go any further, just like point out sands. This is the sands. Have a look at it online. It's all inclusive. It's also sister to Mango Bay. So if you want to be on the west coast, you have the option of Mango Bay, or you can come here to the sands. They're all affiliated. They all have their all-inclusive packages. I know the sands offer different types of packages, so check online if you're interested in staying in this area. Beautiful beach. Now remember, we're going into low tide now. I don't want to deceive anyone. At high tide, this sand is going to be way, this water, sorry, is going to be way up. You can see where the actual sargassum is being raked back from where the first set of chairs are. So you will probably get the waves that's coming out into that section, small sets of water. But this will not be the beach that you will see throughout the entire day. So I want to point that out. That's at the moment anyhow. But hopefully around summertime, when after the south swell has gone and the currents change again, that this will rebuild and you will get a lot more sand here. But have a look at these reflections and glows here this morning. Here we go. 20 seconds to put yourself into a tropical environment called Barbados. Some call it paradise, some call it home. I call it a slice of heaven on earth. Here you go. Now you all have not seen me once for the morning. That's because I'm teasing you all, but I see so many messages come here. Nick, I want to see you. Nick, please let me see you. I'm begging. Is that, you do not see those in yours as well? No? Yeah, she says yes. She's acknowledging with a head shake. She may not have said yes for you all to hear, but she's acknowledging that you all are begging to see me. So without further ado, good morning. And as we just did a circle of love just now for you, we did a circle of love for us. Here we go.
Weirdo. Okay.
That's it? Okay, wonderful. Circle of love. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for having patience. I know you've been wrong all morning. I guess we must have been on somewhere about maybe 45 minutes, and you've waited 45 minutes to see me, but as you can see, it was worth the wait, only obviously. So hello from Barbados, hello from me, the 𝗣𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗦𝗘 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲, and hello from the Coast Star, of course. Everyone knows that every man must have a good woman in his life, but I like to also have a young woman in my life. So that might be a middle-age crisis, but I found my young girl. So as you can see, I'm real happy, I'm real joyful, I'm spreading the cheer.
My old man.
You found your old man?
Yeah.
You found somebody who's 52 years old? How old are you? What, 45? 44? Somewhere around there? And yeah, whatever. You all understand the relationship is going here. Young woman cannot be found unless it's an older person, not old person, older person. Anyhow, that's enough for her for now. I think you've seen enough for her, and she's giving me enough trouble, so I will then walk you on a little further. Here we go. These are our friends, and you see, I'm going for them. Maybe they won't talk to me this morning, so remember, it's an uncontrolled environment. But we're going out here because I know these ladies, and I know they're saying, keep talking. I can read their lips from there. And they're saying, come over here and speak to me. I'm also seeing their lips are saying that as well. So I'm going to go sneak up on them. Here we go. Good morning, ladies. How are you this morning? You having a good day? All right, bless swim. All right, enjoy, okay? Take care. How are you going? All right, good. All right, so we're not going to harass them too much, but we're going to spread our love and our cheer and our joy with them. So you're seeing them. You see them almost every time that we come out here and do a vlog. So we just want to say hi to them and make sure they know that we are aware that they're around and that we enjoy their presence. That was already a sea bath, Miss Kira, but no mind, it just went down to my waist. I don't call that a sea bath. I call it a sea bath when I can shake my curls and locks in the water itself. I have not done that this morning as yet, anyhow. Now, we said about erosion. We did talk with 𝗲𝗘𝗔𝗦𝗘 family earlier on. There were like about 6 trees in this area that have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trees that have gone down in this area over the last season. They went down not from the hurricane, but from systems that passed to the to the east of the island and northeast of the island, and also to the kind of erosion that we had last year. We see erosion was intense. We lost all those trees. All of the trees in this clumped area, including ones that have gone down, were planted by 𝗵𝗿𝗃 and his family, Norm, etc. So we used to call this the 𝗲𝗘𝗃 Grove. If you put 𝗲𝗘𝗃 Grove in Google, you will be brought to this location because we made sure to register that as a memory for our friends and family that live in Quebec. Beautiful area. If you were to come down here under normal conditions, you will find Norm and them sitting or with their chairs on here before the sun comes up. They will then go home and eat, which usually up by Melrose, and then they'll come back down and spend the rest of the day here, go home for tea and come back and watch the sunset because they love this beach. They don't even need to go anywhere. They just sit on this beach. I'll tell you how amazing this place is. Beautiful location, I must say. So we have a fairly good beach right now here, a lot of sand built up. So if you are caught in the current that comes around that jetty there or the groin, you will come down into this general area here and approximately where the camera is facing now. You will probably be, I would say maybe 10 or 15 yards offshore. You can then swim against the very light current and come in. And then you are touching sand most of the time anyhow, so it's not anything to freak out over. So if you do get caught in the current just above here and you do start to drift, just come around. This is the internationally known float zone. In case you're not familiar with what floating is all about, there are some underhanded people that took my scientifically, intelligently created apparatus and device known as a power float and transformed it, and someone brought out and called it a cheap noodle. People call it noodles now, but I actually had it patented before as a power float device or apparatus. However, you will get your power float device or apparatus. You will go up by Primo, which was originally Pisces restaurant, just up there in the far distance. And you will come with the current along with a fruit and a bottle of water, and you can float from up there with currents alone and come this entire way down here. Beautiful float. It will take you approximately an hour to get to 𝗃𝗃𝗃 and an hour and a half to get to Accra, but you can float this entire area in calm conditions. Just let the wind and the current blow. As you can appreciate, that is some of the most tedious and hard job that anyone can ever do. Have you ever tried to stay steady and quiet for an hour or an hour and a half? Show me that today and tell me you weren't annoyed by all of the hard work that was involved. Yes, power floating is an Olympic sport. It is one that I hold the gold medal in. Of course, that's only obvious. But you can come and enjoy it for yourself. But the float along here, along the scenery, is similar to like coasting along the west coast on a catamaran. Very similar. Now, as I said, we are the adventurous coast. You cannot do that on the west coast. You go out to sea, out the horizon and gone. You cannot float along the coastline as you can on the south coast. So this is why we call the south coast the entertaining coast, and the west coast the boring coast. Yeah, some people say the west coast has pristine conditions, that the water is transparent, that there are no currents, that you don't get sand all over you when you come out of the sea. That's why we call it the boring coast. If that is what you desire, go westward. If you want something that's entertainment, especially nighttime entertainment, come on the south coast. 𝗃𝗷𝗘𝗔𝗦𝗃 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲, some of you may know, 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝗿𝗄 built this here. He used to own Blue Horizon Hotel before the government purchased it from him. This is known as 𝗃𝗷𝗘𝗔𝗦𝗃. They have reopened. This is a beautiful, what they call a business style hotel. If you're interested, you can rent accommodations here as well. There are accommodations all along this entire beachfront area that you can rent, whether it be an Airbnb house, or whether it be a condo, or whether it be an apartment. You can find accommodations on this entire strip of beach right down to 𝗃𝗃𝗃. If you see any distance here, that will be the center of the camera. Some of you all call it 𝗃𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗦𝗃. I call it 𝗃𝗃𝗃 because that is where 𝗃𝗃𝗃 used to be. The hotel is 𝗃𝗟𝗘𝗃, yes, but the actual beach we call 𝗃𝗃𝗃. On the maps, you will see Worthing Beach runs from the Sloop Gate right down to the Blue Orchid Hotel. However, as you can appreciate, there are different sections, so we have different pet names for them in our Bajan dialogue anyhow. Morning, gentlemen, how are y'all going? Nice low tide this morning, huh? Yeah, you want to shout out the world, man? You want to shout out the world? We run a live vlog here right now on Facebook. Alright, man, thanks, man. Thanks for spending Bajan, love and joy, right? Alright, thanks, have a great day. Alright, cool, man, cool. These fellas come up here and they will snorkel or swim right down to Accra. It's a regular thing for them. They'll park by the gas station down here by Trimark, and they will do this every morning. Every morning, whenever I've been here, I've seen them, and I've seen them do their swim along here as well. For those of you that heard about the fire that happened in Worthing Food Court yesterday, yes, the Jamaican has gone. There was a little impact on the Monkey Bar as well. However, they are open to business. Our plans are for Wednesday night, we are going to be doing an office meeting. We need some work done in night time. We will be going to Worthing. We have been invited by 𝗃𝗃𝗃 to come. They said they wanted to have the EMC there this week, so we are going to take up their invitation. We'll be going to 𝗃𝗃𝗃 general area, Worthing Food Court on Wednesday if you're on the island. We'll be there from around 7 o'clock. Bring an empty stomach, bring a dry throat. Come and enjoy yourselves and have some of the appetizers, teasers, and the lovely drinks that they will have on offer there. That will be happening on Wednesday night from around 7 o'clock. So we're shifting up a little bit, but we will always give you advance notice. You won't be left high and dry and not see something happening. You will know what's going on. I'm going to give you a 360 from here, just so you can enjoy what the scenery is like from here. I also want to mention something that I'm seeing here that I need to draw your attention to as well. But we'll do that 360 first. See if you can pick it up while we do 360. I'll do it nice and easy. See if you see something that needs to be mentioned here, besides obviously the beauty and obviously my amazing baritone harmonic voice. Here we go. At certain times of year when the sea is at low tide, especially in summer when there's not a surge going on, you can walk around in front of here pretty much at ankle deep of water. Right now it's about knee to hip deep, and there's also a surge coming through, so we won't be going any further down today. This is where we'll be ending our vlog this morning with you. Just to show you what I want to draw to your attention, when you're walking in Barbados and the beaches, don't just look around at the beautiful scenery and take photos. Watch where you're actually stepping. This is a typical example of it. There are groins that are being dropped all around the island. However, as the groin wear starts to decay and the rocks burst out, they start to embed themselves, but then they come up at different tides. You will pass here many times a year, you will not see these metal spikes sticking up. You will not know these are here, and they can be just an inch under the surface, or they could actually be there and you not realize it, and you step on them. All along here, groins have been placed, and all along here, as you can see clearly, the wire is now sticking up. So please, when you walk the beaches in Barbados, don't just look at the beauty. look at where you're walking to, especially if you're on the west coast, because you don't want to kick a big rock. So if you're on the west coast, as our water baby likes to call the stony coast, be wary as you're walking as well. But this is why we recommend wearing beach shoes. I do not have on anything today because I am aware of this spot. However, please be careful when you're walking and look down as well. Actually, look down, look up, and look all around you, because the beauty of Barbados does not just lay in front of us, it lays overhead as well. Alright, so just to give you all a little recap of what's going on this week, what we have planned for you. Tomorrow will be a sunrise vlog. Hold on a sec though. I can't miss this opportunity to look camera time. I noticed ever since Nicole has taken over, she steals all the camera time. She even steals it from the other days as well. That's how hoggish she is. So I'm going to take a little bit of my own right now. Anyhow, tomorrow we'll be doing a sunrise vlog. Wednesday we'll be having, it's no sunrise, you know, it's sort of like an off day, but we are having our office gathering. So bring all your work clothes and come and meet us at Worthing Food Court on Wednesday night at around 7 o'clock. Then on Thursday we'll be doing 𝗃𝗍 Community. 𝗃𝗍 Community is at Brenton and St. Philip. I definitely think you all need to come and enjoy that. This is going to be an amazing queue. It's going to be on a big playing field area. It's very similar to what we've been having over the last week. It's very cultural. I'm sure the culturally fat up there will be just mind-blowing. The community will be all out in our numbers, making sure that you enjoy their area and they'll be able to show it off. Then on Friday we're back to a sunrise vlog again. On Saturday we will be with the biggest liar in Barbados. So instead of putting 𝗲𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗦𝗘 Saturday on your calendar, you can put liar Saturday, because it'll be Nicole. She'll be doing all of her lies on Saturday as usual. And she'll be followed by us, and we have to stay far from Nicole. People say that we alienate Nicole or we don't spend time with her. That is not true. The reason that we do that is because she tells so many lies we don't be laughing all the time. So we stay away from her rather than contradict her. We just stay away and let her have her day. So bring along your history books. If you have mine, you will see that almost everything she says is wrong. So you will know if she's lying, of course. And then on Sunday, of course, we will see what happens on Sunday. We don't know if we'll be taking an off day there or not, but we'll be non-stop from today until Saturday. So it's more likely Sunday we will take a rest. But we will let you know more about that as it goes on. Thank you all for joining us this morning, and go and make our way back up by our co-star. We really had the pleasure of bringing you to Barbados this morning. Wherever you are, I hope you've been able to escape the conditions that you may be in and enjoy this tropical atmosphere with us and this tropical scenery. This is what we want to do every day of life, bring you to Barbados in some form or fashion, whether it be a still photo or whether it be lives put on the internet by our co-star. Whatever it is, it will be stimulating conversation, because we want to bring you to Barbados and let you enjoy some peace and happiness and beauty with us as well. So, as you all have said already, you all want to see the absolute best. Here we go. Highest resolution possible. I am the most amazing person, and along with me is the person that lets me be the most amazing and is also an amazing person. I know you all will know that, but she's also the biggest liar when it comes to typing. She stole my phone and she told you all a whole set of... You took it.
I didn't steal it.
You took it. She can't deny that. I didn't steal it. I took it. Whatever.
Let me use
She
it.
wrote some very terrible messages to you all, and a lot of you all are so gullible that you all fell for it. Remember, if you all know me, do not be deceived when someone steals my phone and makes a comment. You know, to each of you.
Wait a minute. You do the same thing.
Yes, but it's different.
He always goes after Angela Cox. So if you see me calling you a puppet or whatever, it's him, because he takes my phone.
Oh yeah, if you all believe that, then you all are being fooled by her again. Everybody that knows her knows how wicked she is. Those especially hanging with us on Saturday, they have also been the sufferers of it. Last week she almost made poor Cheryl with water from a water pistol for the whole morning. Made Cheryl quarrel with the establishment and tell them there was water coming from their roof, when it was her who was actually soaking Cheryl and everyone else on the table. So as you all can see, she's very, very mischievous, but we all love her dearly. That is our co-star. From myself, from the co-star, from each and every one of our EMC members, I know they would do the same thing if they had my gimbal in their hand. They would all wish you a pleasant day. We hope your day is filled with peace and joy and happiness. If you did not laugh here this morning, well, then you need to put a replay and rewind again and see all the comments that people are making, because they're making enough sport on here. You should be able to laugh with them at least once or twice. Remember, today your smile can save a life. Remember, your hello can bring someone from the edge of a cliff. Remember, we're not only here to walk towards the light, but we're here to also help others guide towards the light on those dark days when they do not see it. that is when we come into play. On the days that we're having challenges, you know, they will all also step up as well and help us. So Simon, the water baby, our whole dorsal crew. I will call Simon the water baby because she's such a nuisance. You know, you always go to a circus and the most impressive thing you always remember is the clown. So good morning to you, Simon. From the beautiful, beautiful Worthing in Christchurch on the beautiful, amazing and best coastline in the island, south coast of course. We wish you farewell. Have a great day and we'll see you all tomorrow morning. I'm going to leave you this beautiful scenery as we finish off now. With a little silence if I'm not annoyed by you know who. Have a great day and be safe today. Remember, work really, really hard. Dedicate yourself to work because I need your national insurance contributions. Have a great day. Love you all. See you later.